Woke up to sunshine, palm trees sway. City of dreams where the stars play. From the hills to the waves, it feels so right. Love in LA under neon lights. Oh, LA, you're my heart's escape. In your streets, my dreams take shape. From dawn till dusk, you never sleep.
We open up at Robbie's apartment. The apartment is sleek and tidy, reflecting Robbie's newfound success. A bright Valentine's Day card sits on the counter. Robbie stands by his mirror, adjusting his tie and putting on a jacket. He looks sharp and confident. Drew walks in, holding a steaming cup of coffee. He hands it over to Robbie. From college dropout to millionaire in just 1 year. I'd say I'm proud of you, but I don't want to jinx your good luck charm.
Thanks, Drew. Just don't touch anything shiny. Your bad luck might rub off.
Drew smirks, taking a sip from his own mug and leaning against the counter. Did you talk to my accountant?
Yeah, I did.
And?
He's managing all my accounts now. Everything's on track. You, on the other hand, need to focus on getting out more. You're starting to blend into the furniture.
I can't.
Come on, just call her. Tell her you made a mistake.
She wouldn't believe me.
Well, don't sell yourself short. You're great at apologizing. Remember that time you convinced Tiffany's sister she looked nice at her wedding?
Well, she did look nice.
Sure, if you ignore the fact that her dress looked like it was made out of leftover curtains.
Says the guy who thought winking at her was a solid strategy to win her over.
Okay, no need to analyze my failed moves. Just focus on fixing things with Tiffany.
Drew glares, but cracks a smile despite himself.
Do you miss her?
Drew hesitates, but then nods. I mean, does a bird miss the sky? Drew leans against the counter, holding his mug.
Do you miss her?
Yeah.
Still mad about her sneaking off with Owen?
Drew shakes his head. No, that was dumb. I overreacted.
Good. Take advice from that Disney movie, Frozen, and let it go.
First off, no. And two, easy for you to say. You've already found the love of your life.
Do you know why that is? Because we don't sweat the small stuff. We flow and roll with the punches. Try it. Might fix things. And if it doesn't, you'll at least have a great story to overshare at parties.
Yeah. Hey, remember when I ruined my relationship? Good times. Robbie laughs, shaking his head.
Seriously, though, life's too short to hold grudges. If it were a sport, you'd be playing in the minor leagues anyway.
Drew puts down his mug, smirking. Fine. Maybe I'll call her.
Or, better yet, come to dinner with me and Liz tonight. Tiffany might be there. Perfect! Tiffany loves a good disaster. Why else would she have dated you?
Drew raises an eyebrow. You're seriously asking me to third wheel your Valentine's date?
It's not third wheeling. It'll be a double date. Only Tiffany doesn't know it yet.
Drew chuckles, shaking his head. All right, fine. I'll come. Let me get changed. Drew heads off to get changed. Later on at the bar, at night, the bar is dimly lit, a mix of chatter and soft music filling the air. Tiffany sits next to Drew, arms crossed and glaring at Robbie, who stands nervously nearby.
I can't believe you lied to me.
I was just trying to help you both.
Go easy on the guy.
No one asked for your opinion.
Robbie raises his hands in mock surrender.
Look, I know you both miss each other.
Oh, you're a mind reader now?
Robbie leans in slightly, lowering his voice.
Tiffany, my grandma tells me you've been going out to bars every night, trying to find someone like Drew.
Drew perks up, surprised. You do?
I'm neither confirming nor denying anything.
Why did you two even break up in the first place?
Tiffany stiffens, deflecting.
And where's your girlfriend? I thought this was supposed to be a double date.
I may play dumb sometimes, but I'm not that dumb.
I miss you, Tiffany. Robbie smirks, gesturing triumphantly.
Well, that's one down.
Well, I don't miss you.
I realized how much I loved you the second I touched down in L.A.
Yet, you were nowhere to be seen.
He didn't think you'd take him back. Plus, he had to live in Texas for 6 months. One of his companies was in serious financial trouble.
But besides that, every second away from you, my heart was broken.
I'm not that lucky.
As soon as I got the company back on safe footing, I flew back to LA, ready to fight for you. But then, Robbie interjects, smirking.
Oh, and he spent the night.
Tiffany's eyes widen, caught off guard.
July this year.
Drew nods solemnly. I thought you weren't over him, so I stayed away. Tiffany exhales sharply, collecting her thoughts.
Just so you know, his wife threw him out. He was homeless. He needed somewhere to stay while he figured things out. He slept on the couch.
Drew stares at her, shocked. So, nothing really happened?
No. And now I'm leaving.
Tiffany reaches for her handbag, but Drew is quicker. He snatches it and bolts towards the exit.
What the hell? Drew, give me my handbag.
Drew doesn't stop, weaving through the crowd. Tiffany turns to Robbie, who gives a helpless shrug. After a beat, Tiffany groans and storms after Drew, her heels clicking against the floor. Cut to outside. The street is quiet, lit by warm street lamps. Drew walks briskly, his hands stuffed into his pockets. Up ahead, a small, cozy bookshop with a glowing open sign looms. Tiffany follows behind, her heels clicking against the pavement, while Robbie ambles beside her, scrolling on his phone.
I don't know what game you're playing, but it's not going to work.
I know. Drew continues walking, his steps steady and determined. Robbie glances at Tiffany, shrugging.
Oh, I hope you know what you're doing, man.
I should hope so, considering you did most of the planning. Robbie pulls up his Uber app, tapping a few buttons as they walk. Tiffany raises an eyebrow, looking between the two.
You did?
Afraid so.
We better not be going to a Bible study meeting, because this one has already dragged me to one before.
Drew chuckles, glancing back at her. Our first date after the reunion. We were supposed to go to a wine tasting event, but I accidentally took her to a Bible study class instead.
We ended up staying and promising to convert.
And then we ghosted the priests every time they called. They're all laughing as they reach the door to the bookshop. Drew pulls the key out of his pocket and unlocks the door.
This is where I say goodbye and good luck.
Oh no, you're not sneaking off that easily. You're coming in with me.
Oh, sorry, no can do. My Uber's already here.
And as if on cue, a cab pulls up to the curb. Robbie heads towards it, turning back with a teasing wave.
Good luck, lovebirds.
He climbs into the cab and it drives off, leaving Tiffany standing alongside Drew. She crosses her arms, sizing him up.
So, are we doing this or what?
Drew looks at her, his expression soft but resolute. Let's. Drew holds the door open and Tiffany steps inside, glancing back at him briefly before they disappear into the warmly lit shop. The door clicks shut behind them.
If you're enjoying this episode of With or Without You, be sure to subscribe to That Love Podcast for more rom-com magic. You can also find us on Twitter at That Love Pod and on Facebook at That Love Podcast. Give us a follow. Now, back to the show.
Inside the bookshop, the warm golden light of the bookshop casts long shadows across rows of neatly arranged books. The space is empty, except for Drew and Tiffany. The soft smell of old paper and vanilla candles lingers in the air. On the walls, a series of empty hooks are spaced evenly, waiting to be adorned. Tiffany looks around, her arms crossed, still unsure of what to expect.
So, what's this about, Drew? You're not planning to sell me a rare book, are you?
Not quite. Just trust me. For a few minutes. Drew steps behind a nearby counter and pulls out a stack of drawn canvases, their edges carefully wrapped. He places them down gently. I've been thinking about us. Well, about everything. And I wanted to show you something. Drew unwraps the first canvas and holds it up. It's a drawing of a coffee shop, sketched with care and precision. Our first date. You ordered that ridiculous pumpkin spice latte and then spilled half of it on my notebook. Tiffany's lips twitch into a smile as she hangs the canvas on the first hook.
In my defense, that table was wobbly.
And you still managed to make it look graceful. He picks up the next canvas, revealing a simple, sweet depiction of a park bench under a tree, dappled with sunlight. And this was us that summer, when we got caught in the rain at Riverside Park. You laughed so hard when we used that tiny picnic blanket as an umbrella. Tiffany steps closer, her eyes softening.
You've ruined your shoes.
Totally worth it. The next canvas is revealed, a sketch of a small, cozy kitchen. The detail is meticulous, from the tilted toaster to the flowers scattered on the counter. Your old apartment. Remember when we tried baking cookies? Half of them burned and the other half turned into sugar bricks.
And you still ate them.
Well, 'cause you made them. He hangs it up, moving on to the fourth canvas. This one is of a theater marquee, the title of a cheesy rom-com prominently displayed. The movie you made me sit through. I swore I'd hate it, but you laughed so much that I didn't care.
That was the night you held my hand for the first time.
Drew nods, a hint of vulnerability in his smile. And I didn't want to let go. Drew places it on the wall and reveals the next canvas, a moonlit pier with faint silhouettes of two people. The pier. The first time after high school that I looked at you and finally said, I love you. Tiffany's breath catches and she takes a small step closer to him.
I remember. You were shaking so much I thought you'd fall in the water.
I wasn't sure if you'd say it back.
I said it twice.
Their eyes meet, the tension softening as Drew reaches for the sixth canvas. This one shows a messy desk covered with papers and a small framed photo. Your study desk. The night you stayed up helping me prep for my big presentation.
And you nailed it.
Because you believed in me. He hangs the canvas and reveals the seventh, a small, quiet street adorned with fairy lights, a simple restaurant on the corner. Our last real date, before everything fell apart. Tiffany's expression softens into something bittersweet.
We were happy that night.
We were. He takes a deep breath before revealing the final canvas. This one shows a simple sketch of two hands intertwined. And this is what I want. What I've always wanted. Tiffany stares at the canvas, her eyes glistening. I know I screwed up. I should have fought harder. I should have never let you go. But every memory we made is part of who I am, and I don't want to make any more memories without you. Tiffany blinks back tears, her guard finally breaking.
You kept all of this? For me?
Drew steps closer, his voice barely above a whisper. For us. There's a long pause as Tiffany looks at the wall, each canvas telling their story. Finally, she turns to him, her voice trembling.
You're a fool, Drew.
I know. She closes the space between them, her hand finding his.
But you're my fool.
They stand there, surrounded by their memories, as the glow of the bookshop wraps them in a quiet intimacy. Drew pulls her into a soft, tender embrace. I missed you.
I missed you too.
Sometime later, in that same bookshop, an 18-year-old artist, Kelly Armstrong, puts the final strokes on a beautiful drawing of Tiffany and Drew, capturing them with warmth and precision. The canvas glows softly in the golden light of the bookshop.
And we're done. That's a wrap. Oh, my mom says thanks for letting me take over from her. And don't forget to call me in a year for your updated portraits.
You're welcome, and we will. Thank you, Kelly.
Kelly gathers her brushes and places them in the kitchen sink in the back room. She returns to grab her coat and bag, giving them a small wave as she heads out the door.
Bye.
The room falls silent, leaving Tiffany and Drew alone. Drew takes her hand gently, brushing his lips against it. I love you, Tiffany. Tiffany tilts her head, her lips parting slightly as he continues. I love you the way an eagle loves the sky soaring, boundless and free. You make me feel weightless, like nothing in the world can hold me down when I'm with you. He takes a small step closer, his voice steady, but his eyes vulnerable. I'm like a drummer who finds rhythm in every beat. My heart pounds for you, every single moment we're together. Tiffany's eyes shimmer as his grip on her hand tightens, his smile growing. I'm like a man who can't resist the smell of fresh cookies from the oven. You make me crave every single part of you. Your laugh, your touch, your kindness.
And here I thought I was kind of a bitch today.
More reasons why I love you. Tiffany, I love you like eagles love the sky, like drummers love their beat, and like I love cookies completely and without question. He pauses, taking a deep breath, his gaze locking with hers. There's no sky high enough, no beat strong enough, no hunger deep enough that could ever keep me away from you. Tiffany's breath catches, her hand trembling slightly in his. She looks at him, a soft smile spreading across her face as she steps closer, her other hand reaching to cup his cheek.
Drew, I love you too. Not like cookies or eagles or drums, though those are beautiful. I love you like a tree loves its roots. Like it knows it can't stand tall without them. You ground me. You keep me steady. And you remind me who I am when I forget.
Her voice grows stronger, more confident, her smile lighting up her face.
I love you like the waves love the shore, always coming back, no matter how far they drift. You're my home, Drew. You always have been, and you always will be.
Drew's eyes glisten as she leans closer, her forehead touching his.
There's no distance, no doubt, no fear that could ever take you away from me. I'm yours. Always.
As am I. They stand there in the quiet of the shop, their foreheads pressed together, their hearts in sync. Slowly, Drew cups her face, and Tiffany leans into his touch as they share a soft, tender kiss that feels like the culmination of every unspoken word between them. The canvas of their portrait sits nearby, capturing the moment forever. The end.
Woke up to sunshine, palm trees sway, city of dreams where the stars play. From the hills to the waves, it feels so right. Love in LA under neon lights. Oh, LA, you're my heart's escape. In your streets, my dreams take shape. From dawn till dusk, you never sleep. In your arms, my soul I keep.
This has been a That Love podcast production. With or Without You was brought to life by the incredible voices of Chakri Matayanant, Andrea Richardson, Alice Irvin, and Emerson Peary. Written, produced, and directed by Yoaun Sita, this show is a labor of love for all rom-com enthusiasts. For future episodes and exclusive updates, don't forget to subscribe to That Love podcast. Join our growing community of over 28,000 fans on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at That Love Pod and on Facebook at That Love Podcast to stay connected, share your thoughts, and be part of the fun. Thank you for listening, and we can't wait to see you next time.